Welcome
How's
to the
it going?
BANGover podcast, reactionary reviews, metal breakdowns. Today we're doing Killer Be Killed, supergroup. We're talking Troy from Mastodon, George, right?
George? Let me get the stats on that real quick.
George from Dillinger Escape Plan, multiple drummers of the Mars Volta. They just pick which two they want to use between their awesomeness. And who else we got going on?
So you got
Bass player from
Greg Puciato, who's
There
the
you go.
vocalist. Max Cavalera, vocals,
Obviously.
guitars. Greg's also guitars. Troy Sanders, vocals and bass. Ben Kohler, who's drums, and then Juan Montoya did live drums for them. And then you have Dave Ellich, who was the former drummer.
Told you.
So
They
this-
just pick and choose whoever they need for the right time.
Yeah, this new album. See if it's got.
So obviously, Max is from Soulfly. Hey, what's up? Part of it right there. Part of the tribe. And then we have Troy from Mastodon and George from Dillinger Escape Plan, which is no longer around, but all badasses if you're a metalhead, right?
Yeah.
Come on. I love Dillinger. I love Soulfly. I love Mastodon. I thought this was going to be one of the coolest things ever. First album came out about 4 years ago, 2016, I believe. Didn't know they were going to make another one.
2014.
2014?
That was the first one. May 9th. Nuclear
Holy
blast.
Crazy. 6 years ago. All
Yeah.
right.
And they've been
Yeah.
according to, so they were like, writing this album, and they were doing that. The Max confirmed in an interview that the band was convening in Phoenix to rehearse and write new material in Soulfly's rehearsal space. So he was utilizing their rehearsal space to
Why not?
do this. And then yesterday, on the 4th, the band released this song, Deconstructing Self-Destruction, which we're about to. It's not an official. It's an official video, but it's not a music video in the sense of like your traditional
Come on, people.
productions and stuff. It's a visualizer video.
Don't have to explain this to y'all. Nuclear Blast, this is what they do. Roadrunner will do it as well. It's just a little promo before everything else. If it was me, I would take pointers from bands like Mastodon and Gojira and release an actual music video with it before it becomes a popular song, but these labels don't work like that.
Yeah.
They don't do that.
No. So
So,
this is going to be the first time both of us are hearing the song, seeing this visualizer video, and we'll kind of comment throughout it.
yeah, first time I heard this band, again, I was super excited, but it reminded me of, it was a little, okay, how do I say this without making it sound bad? New metal? It was really groovy, right? And it had a lot of like energy of what that, early 2000s, late 90s metal had, a lot of breakdowns. It was really cool. I liked all of it, but some of it was kind of like a little corny, a little cheesy, a little just too rock and roll. Am I going too far out here
No.
saying that?
No. I mean,
How do you feel?
I kind of like
How do you
it,
feel?
but I could see,
Did you love it? The album? Because I loved it. I listened to it all the time. I was just, it was a little.
What was on it again?
Wings of Feather and Wax.
Oh, I see. Yes. The first album I did like. Sorry, I was actually getting confused with this album. And
Oh, I'm sorry.
I can't
Draft
remember.
Tongue Orchestra.
Maybe that's what it is. Yeah.
Another super
Another
group that has
Troy.
some Mastodon.
I think Troy's in it as well.
No, it's
Or it's
the guitar player.
players. Yeah. See, God, they're all over the place.
Brent. Brent.
Yeah. And then you also have what's the other super group with Mr. Bungle Singer? We just did an episode.
Oh, the Dead Cross.
Yeah, Dead Cross. That's another one that's insane. So there's all these like super groups, and I'm getting them all confused. And they kind of came out in the last like 5-ish years, like all these albums and like.
Most people think always the reviews on a supergroup, everyone's expecting it to be awesome, but they're never great. Never, not once has a supergroup like been the greatest thing. Past from where these bands came from, like not even on the same level as any Soulfly or Dillinger, or Mastodon. So it's fun. I like it, but it's not probably gonna blow my head off my shoulders. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that new Tool album where it's just like it bent me over and just broke me like fucking Bane style.
I liked the Dead Cross, and I did like this Killer Be Killed album.
The Dead Cross was better than most of these.
Yeah, I would say that was probably my favorite of all these super groups.
But I love this. I love George and his singing, and if I can get more of it. And I really believe this whole group was like maybe made up in Max's mind from the 2008 album. I believe I can't remember, Conquest maybe?
The Soulfly one?
Yeah, or the album before Conquest, where it had George come on and sing that song, and which I cannot. I can't believe I can't even remember the name of it right now.
Yeah.
But because I love it. But it was awesome. He just comes in and like sings the hooks or sings like the main chorus, if you will. I fucking loved it. And the best thing about this band, and we talk about this all the time, is that it takes literally that page right out of like Mastodon's book. Every singer, because there's 3 singers in this band, sings a different part of the song. Verse, someone sings the chorus, and someone sings the breakdown or the hook.
They were all listed as vocals on the thing.
And they all have great voices that pair. So
yeah,
what I said before, I know, yes, it's probably not going to be the best. I'm not expecting a lot, but I'm leaving my, expectations very low to get the most out of it.
Yeah.
So let's start it, and then we'll stop it, and then we'll start it, and then you guys tell me how much you hate us doing that. Turn it up. Let's see.
already it's like it had that like build up intro, and then you get, I'm assuming, Troy right there.
Oh yeah.
So it's got that build up intro, then Troy comes in, and it's classic like.
Yeah, it's classic like. I think you were gonna say it, just classic.
What's that like driving
rock?
Metal like? Yeah,
it's kind of like hardcore.
It's like
metalcore. I mean, metalcore.
It's got that kind of gallop that you would.
That
expect.
drum beat was very interesting in the beginning. Yeah, I was like, this is crazy. And then when it comes in, don't know how to expect it. It kind of has like a country twang to it.
Yeah,
a little bit. But Troy always has that. Mastodon always has that.
Yeah.
All right. See you again.
There you go. Oh, okay. So let's go. Before we get into the Max era,
I told you.
So they're splitting the vocals. 3, yeah.
Every song, people, they do that.
That's the way to do that.
So you get a little bit of everything, you know.
You get the kind of weird double snare that for Troy's part. Then it becomes a little bit more rock and roll for the George's part. Yeah. And then now we're getting into this like heavier
when
metal
Max's
section
voice.
for Max's singing.
Yeah. So everyone has like their range and they use it very well. Because Max kind of only has one range.
But they're also doing it for that style, Like
and George has all the range. And, you know, Troy has what Troy has. which is a very unique
Yeah,
voice,
he
in
does,
my
yeah,
opinion. I love
totally.
it. Yeah.
Totally. So this is like very that what's that like?
It's very Dillinger. It's very
It's Dillinger, but
yeah.
it's what am I
Is there a
trying to
lady out there moving a drum set? Baby Blue? What? In this apartment complex? Sorry.
It's very like of a certain time. I'm trying to like
Dude, it is like Avenged Sevenfold
yes,
shit. It
very
reminds
much
me
me of like that when I was working at
what is that fucking style of
Spencer's.
music? Like I said, it's like metalcore. Like
Yeah.
it's very much around there.
Yeah.
Somewhere planted.
You know,
it's
who
just like
Kill Switch Engage. It reminds me of where it's like
all those fucking. There's
Yeah,
so many
yeah.
bands, especially the Avenged Sevenfold, probably the biggest out of all of it, where they were just because they would
yeah.
be so fucking metal.
They were-
and then
yeah.
hit a part like this where
Yeah.
you're just like, I'm out.
But then the dueling guitar, like
Yeah.
they would get ridiculous with the sound, like you're saying.
Yeah,
Like, it was in
you have an awesome drummer
Yeah.
too, of course. But you know, Dillinger Escape Plan does that all the time, where they do have these parts in like the middle of their math core out of nowhere. But it always adds the flavor because you get something so lighthearted and easy to hear out of like this really complicated beginning of like blast beats and like 9/6s or whatever 6/9s and fucking.
It's like technical
weird,
without being
and
too
then,
heady.
and then just hitting that chorus. Still, it really aches my insides when I hear stuff like this.
Really?
But I love George so much, I always give it a pass. So that's my thoughts.
So that was another. Was it the same as the intro there? Mm-hmm. So that was Troy repeating the intro. I'm just trying to like break
Bring it
down
back around.
break down the song formation. So they had that sort of intro build up. Troy.
There was seriously like 4 or 5 parts before we even got back to the beginning of the song again.
Yeah.
Pretty amazing. Because they kept changing it with the voice. I guess
they kind of
it's
did this
small
sandwich
cadence,
thing
right.
where they like, what was it? Troy. Who's the other guy? George.
George.
So it'd be Troy, George, Max, then George again. They went back to that sort of style, which
was a long 8 count. Of
I don't.
that,
I don't.
you know.
I like.
What
Like
was
we were
that, a
saying,
breakdown?
I appreciate it being there. I'm not like.
Bridge?
I don't like it all the time. It's
Yeah.
something that's like nice if you can do it tastefully.
This is very experimental.
Yeah.
This entire song. The drums on it are very experimental.
They remind me of some fucking Igor shit, kind of like how like just like driving and sort of a Calvera conspiracy ish.
right.
That's maybe just being with Max and writing all this material in that Soulfly room. It kind of
always
like,
comes across as having that beat no matter what. Yeah.
not even the beat. It's just the tonality of the drums. How just like heavy they are. They're just like really like
Yeah.
really.
Well, I'm really loving that snare part.
Yeah,
It's just
that snare is
yeah.
like that.
I'm not really digging the way it's sounding so much. Like I wish there was more ting to it. Wish there was more reflection, more resonance. But it fits right in with whoever's guitar part is playing on top of that. It's just like nailing it.
Yeah.
There might be some production stuff in the studio.
Yeah.
But it's very interesting so far. And we're only
About halfway through.
about halfway. All right, let's go.
So Max is doing the pre-chorus.
Yeah.
George is doing the chorus right there.
George is.
Or it's like maybe that's the
So
pre-chorus.
this is what's happening. I think it's like Troy is doing like the verse, and then
Yeah.
I think as it starts to hit the pre-chorus, George kicks in with it, and Max ends it for George to come back to it. I think.
Well, we'll see if. Well, yeah, because it's done this weird like alternating. George has sung more than everyone else so far, but they're kind of like doing
Yeah.
this weaving thing.
He's hitting the chorus, and the
Yeah.
chorus is the longest part in this whole thing.
Yeah, this is the chorus, and Max is setting him up for it when it gets all brutal. because Troy's doing the verses.
And watch. So we're in the chorus right now. Watch Max take us out of it with the.
Let's see right here. I feel a breakdown coming on, or a bridge or something.
Told you, we were both right. Breakdown with Max.
Oh, there you go. Pause right there. That
gave me chills, dude. that whole part gave me chills. I was like, this is the best part of the song. That was so cool with Troy's backing vocal.
Yeah, fading in and out with Max on there.
I still got goosebumps. And then that insane fucking snare roll out this motherfucker. Those guys from Mars Volta always have something to prove. They're always like in a metal band. They're like, yeah, just because we were playing like all this crazy jazz funk doesn't mean we can't destroy, a metal song for sure. And listen, barely any double kicks, man. It's just a badass drummer, a really badass like rock drummer, Very anime.
Yeah. It's got the like dueling guitars, sort of harmony.
Power metal.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. Okay. Pause it right now. Whoa.
I told you.
Where did that come from?
Always have something to prove.
Just okay.
Always, dude.
All right. That was out of nowhere.
That was insane.
Yeah.
And the whole thing, I didn't even think about it until now. It's so power metal. It's so like,
yeah.
I love like the whole power metal.
It's kind of it's like blending.
So driving.
It's like a little heavier power metal. Like
it's just because of the voice.
Well, Max, whenever he comes in, it's like that completely switches it to what Max does.
Yeah,
best.
it's like he flips on his guitar when he sings as well.
So it's like you have these power metal like choruses and even verses, but these like little cement piece, the little glue in between all the pieces is Max with his hardcoreness that like is power metal, even just a little more edgier, just a little more,
I even want like George to just sing a little bit higher in some of these parts. Like he can hit a really high range. He could give like fucking someone like Mike Patton a run from his money.
Yeah. Let's close out here with this
blast beat.
Yeah. Outro. Nice.
I tell you what,
November 20th, I think is what it said.
Yes.
Yeah, pretty sure.
I take it back. That did blow me away. I can't wait for the whole album. So many different things, so many different feelings, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's just, there's so much to listen to. I mean, I get it if anyone out there is just like, man, that's not metal, There's a lot of that, like, just being a rock band, And I think this is probably where these guys wanted to go with this band, was not to be insanely metal like how they are in all their other bands, right?
Yeah.
To just have fun and be in like a rock band that is open to do things that are very metal, right? Because when you put that stigmatism of like being metal, like everything has to be heavier than the last thing before, right? Or around the same heaviness. But being rock, you're allowed to do those, coarse, that coarse part like that, right?
Stuff, yeah.
So
I dug it.
I liked it a lot. We need more rock bands, to be honest. And
more bands like this where it's like it's on Nuclear Blast, but there's other fucking crazy ass bands on that label that don't. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel like if anyone's a fan of just rock and roll, and I showed them this song, they would be like, "Oh, this is interesting."
Yeah.
It might throw them off on some parts, but that chorus part will hook them right in. They just fucking. Whew. So
with that breakdown.
Oh, dude, I wanted to go back to like so many parts and like
breakdown.
just listen to that again. I was like,
yeah,
they're so good at what they do. And Max always has like a formula. Max has a formula, and he allows these musicians to come in and manipulate his formula. But his formula is always the same, where it's like Max knows how to write pretty much a pop song, you know?
Yeah.
Just like he knows how to make something so addicting with like 2 riffs. And he does that all the time with all of his songs.
I could see him bringing in his part, like writing wise, his part, and the breakdown.
Yeah, for sure. Well, thank y'all for joining us. I'm gonna do many more of these.
Probably the Deftones one. There'll probably be more videos for this. We got a lot of like, I didn't realize, but there's just a lot of like upcoming stuff happening.
I mean, we've had enough time, enough downtime to expect a lot of things to be coming out here from
Music,
bands. Yeah.
I mean, hopefully bands and
I mean, we have Marilyn Manson.
bands, games,
I only know
movies,
metal.
everything.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
All right.
We'll do this again. Thanks, yeah.
Later.